Gareth finishes 1-1 on the day here at Harrogate. Just give us your assessment of the performance.
Yeah, a little bit nervous around us, a little bit of nervousness, and obviously a change of manager, a big week for the boys. So the character they've shown today, I'm really, really proud of. Coming back, from it's a tough place. Harrogate are in the league every year because of their home form. Their home form is really good, and it's easy to get beat here because you're unexpected. The pitch isn't great to play on, and they're good at what they do. They really are. And we warned them about the set pieces, and ultimately see 2 set pieces today. 2 penalties. But the character the boys have shown second half to get back into it, and could have gone on to win it. But I think either team, I would say today could have had a winning goal. So I'm not going to dress it up in rose-tinted glasses. Plenty of work to do. But my eyes were open on a few players today. So yeah, really pleased.
So application, effort, desire. Did you get everything that you'd asked for before the game?
Second half, I thought we could have got closer to the ball, up the pitch higher a little bit, But listen, this team has been through the mill this season. They're almost a wounded animal, and they're a bit scared sometimes. We need to go a bit more all out, get that ball down, play some good attacking football. I think when we got the ball down second half, a couple of switches of play, getting the wing backs in, getting behind them, I think that caused the problems, and that led to the penalty actually. A couple of switches of play, and then when Jayden came on, I think he injected a little bit of almost arrogance that I'm going to take people on and get at people. I want that no fear attitude from the boys. Fans were absolutely fantastic, really, really good. And didn't expect them to travel in those numbers, but absolutely behind the boys. I'm hoping they can see there's a little bit of a difference. We were a little bit long ball first half, living up to my previous title at Wycombe, probably with Akinfenwa in the team, but when we got the ball down at half time, I said, get the ball down. Can we have that extra touch? Can we play a little bit? And some tough afternoons for some people, but ultimately taking a point away from home any week is a good point, and it adds to our total.
Max Clark got the goal, of course, from the penalty spot. Do you, as a manager, do you pick penalty takers, or do you say, guys, you sort it out when you get out there?
I'm very proud to say I picked it before the game. Yeah, they said, Gaffer, we've had 1 penalty all season, and that didn't go well. So I said, right, Clarkie's on penalties. I like my left backs on penalties. You asked Joe Jacobson at Wycombe. So I made the decision. They're always quite technical players, your left backs, and Clarkie, to be fair, he's solid. He there's never really bad connections when he hits the ball, and it was nice for him. I'm glad I did announce it before the game because they'd have been scrapping over that one, wondering who was in charge. But I gave him the honour, and also a little mention for Robbie McKenzie as well, getting the armband, because I think he's had a game in midfield, a real battling game, and Robbie's a real player. He can play, which is great, but he's grafted today, so I didn't want him to be on the end of a losing performance with the armband on. So 2 experienced boys there who've really done well today.
Gaff, appreciate your time. Matt Davison for Radio Kent, please.
Okay, let's check that's recording. It is. Gareth, what did you most learn about your team today?
Yeah, there's lots to work on with this team. We're a little bit nervous sometimes, defending a little bit uncertain at times, and misjudging a couple of things, and some silly free kicks that we could give away. So I want to work on that and being a little bit more cute on that side of things. And going forward, we can be a lot better. We can get that ball down. If I'm in total defence of the boys, when you come away to places like Harrogate and they're quite direct, you get sucked into sort of a direct game, and that's that can be apparent at times, and you've got to win the battle. We're all good players, but you've got to win the battle sometimes and earn the right to play. And at half time I said, look, no worries, they've got to go, you're kicking to your fans now, let's get that ball down, let's play the better football, and I thought we did, second half especially, and we deserve to get back into the game.
You'll know, both from looking at the league table and probably from looking at some of the games, it's scoring goals has been the problem with Gillingham this season. Now you've seen them play in person for 90 minutes. Can you see why? And that's what your first thing to work on is.
Yeah, listen, there's reasons for not scoring goals. You can work in it all you want, but we also want to create better, easier chances for our forwards. It's not all about the forwards scoring goals. So, how's the service been? What have the chances looked like? And I think that we've had 2 days with the boys. We've worked on a little bit of defensive work, a little bit of shape. The creating chances comes a little bit later on. I want us to be solid. I want us to make sure we get enough points to be very comfortable in this league. And and definitely in the summer it's something to work on. But yeah, it's the chances that we can create. I'd love to see a tap in from 5 yards, and hopefully we'll get one of those between now and the end of the season. But no, really pleased that the character by the boys was shown today. That's what I've seen. And I said to him, one of my non-negotiables is empty the tank. And you saw Johnny Williams there and Nev coming off absolutely shattered. They've given everything. Johnny was flying into tackles, and he's playing a slightly unusual position. So, I mean, all of them emptied the tank. So it's all you can ask as a manager, and if we're not good enough, then so be it. Sometimes teams are better than us, and I'll take the blame for that. But the boys did empty the tank. When you put that shirt on, empty the tank, please.
I gather you've only had 2 training sessions. How did you pick your team? Did you get advice from people, or is that based on how well they've trained with you?
I mean, the time period, I couldn't go and watch every game they've played this season and make a judgment on that. Watch the last couple highlights before that, and me and Dobbo, we said, we're not stupid. We're not going to make wholesale changes to this bunch. They've just picked up 4 points. I think that's 3 unbeaten now with this group. And so it's steady. And when you're at this stage of the season and precarious position we're in, there's no point risking stuff and trying to open up. Maybe that'll come later in the season. But I'm really happy that what I thought would happen today almost did. Loads of work to do, and it's character that they've shown, but I want them to get confident. I want them to have this almost great way of playing and this identity going forward, which will not come today, maybe not Tuesday, maybe not next Saturday, definitely next season when I have a pre-season with them. But let's start moving towards this identity of what Gillingham could be. We've got a great pitch at home, we've got a fantastic fan base at home. On Tuesday I'm hoping we can put on a great performance against what will be a tough game against Colchester. They're flying high in the league. But today we'll get on the bus. The one thing that caught me out was the long journeys I'm going to have to experience this year. I think we're the most travelled team in the league, aren't we? That's somebody told me. I don't mind that, as long as the boys are all together, feeling positive, and keep picking up points on the road.
Was that quite nice for you, though, to get the group of players with you overnight, so you can actually get to know them as people as well? Of course,
and we do things. Part of our management is the cultural side. It's a huge part. I don't think any team has ever won anything that haven't had a good culture. Nobody just has the best players. You look at your Man Cities, your Liverpools, and what they've done, your Klopps and your Guardiolas. They're all in. They're all in with great cultures. And even I don't want to hark back to my Wickham team, but wow, beating Oxford in that final, we saw the underdogs, but you felt the spirit, you felt the togetherness of the players. I want that here. I want that. They are, but in the modern world, in society in general, it doesn't always come. So we do little exercise, and we'll have little team bonding things. Sometimes we won't train. We'll do a team bonding thing where the boys will get to know each other. I want them to know each other's names, families, previous clubs. So when you're on the pitch, you're thinking, I'll fight for him because I know all about him and he's the same as me. And this is, for me, football, and not enough time is spent on this part of the game. But we'll certainly do it. And I say, hopefully, the boys have enjoyed today. It was a bit of a scrap. Windy, Harrogate, but we can go back home, prepare now for a game against Colchester on Tuesday.
Maxima not in the 18 today?
Sorry?
Maxima not in the 18 today?
No, Max wasn't in the 18 today. I changed that up, Shad coming in as defensive cover. So it's my decision as manager who I put in the squad and who I don't, and there's a big squad here, so keeping everyone happy is going to be tough, but we'll definitely change it up, and I think we'll have to slim it down for next season. So all positions up for grabs at the moment.
And just one last question from me. You saw how good the fans were who travel away from home, 500 of them, for a game away to Harrogate, one of the longest trips of the season, but you can't wait to now pick a team in front of them at home.
Listen, I want to see that Rainer man going mental and trying to suck that ball in the goal, because I know what it's like against them, So thank you. You can almost feel a little bit of nervousness with the crowd as well, going, we want this. Just get behind us. Just don't worry about it. Just let it go, fans, because you are brilliant. You really helped us second half. The players will say that, and if you notice, they ran over right in front of the fans to celebrate. That's what I want. We're all together in this.
Brilliant. Thank you.
What was Max Clark's reaction when you said you're on penalties? I mean, did he put his hand up initially, or was it a case of a few?
It was a quiet pull in the pre-match meeting at the hotel. it was one of the things that, as a manager, you talk about everything else and then you forget and you think, have I actually nominated someone for penalties? Because you see it so many times that they're scrapping over balls. Who takes it? Is he really confident? I just pulled him and said, Clarky, fancy penalties? And he said, yeah, straight away. And that made my mind up. So I said, you're on him. And he went, brilliant. So he's got a goal today. And I think, like I say, he may have to change up next time, but he's slotted it home in the corner. I thought it was a great penalty. And he's got that stitches in his face. He's all in, Max, and I think he'll be the first one to say, look, I'm really happy that we want this together attitude, all of us. He's that kind of person, and yeah, good to see his penalty going. I'll tell you that.
And Ollie Hawkins won it, I think, didn't he, with the foul? You'd only been on a pitch a minute, so inspired substitution as well.
I think Ollie changed the game in a positive way, yeah. But having said that, Joe, yeah, he's going to cause problems for defences. But today he just was bouncing off him a little bit. There's things to learn for Joe. He's so young, but he's got a hell of a chance, with his physical output and his pace that he can have he's just got so much potential. It's up to me and Dobble now to teach him how to make that potential super, because I think he's frustrated today, but I said to him, look, I'm having you, don't worry, Joe. We've got plenty more to go. It's football, it happens. But every single one of them who travelled today, and all my staff, thank you. You're giving it all, and we go home with a point.
And you could have won it in the end as well. I mean, Jaden Clark, Ollie Hawkins had one chance. Jaden Clark won another chance just wide. Yeah. It was nearly.
Yeah, I mean, Harrogate had a couple of chances as well, so we can't sort of gloss over that. But when you're 6'7" centre forward has an overhead kick, 6 yards out, you're hoping he gets his leg right round it. And I think it was his physicality more than anything, his technique. He tried it like he could to get round it, but it just went over the bar. And but Ollie did well when he came on. I thought he was a presence, and I've played against Ollie Hawkins. I know what he's like, and he's always going to be a tough act in the lower leagues. He's super character, really bought into what we want to do, and definitely made an impact today.
And you talk about bonding with the players, and you'll certainly get that chance in the next sort of week or so. I think you've got Salford, Chesterfield coming up. You've got a lot of trips, a lot of hotel stays.
We have a lot of games coming up, and as a manager it's really tough when you've got Saturday, Tuesday to get any decent training sessions on the pitch, because modern sports science and the loading and everything that we do, and injury risks. So it's just up to the boys to step up to the plate mentally. We'll give them all the help they need, and hopefully we can get the right results.